Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Steve again, Harmless Rebel. Time for another hard rock and heavy metal update. Let's kind of jump in here quite a bit. Some of this I've had sitting in my inbox for a year. Some of it just came in. So this is one I ran across a couple months ago. I really like the first Killer Be Killed album. Killer Be Killed is a super group. The original lineup was the singer from Dillinger Escape Plan, Max Cavalera on guitar, and it was the drummer from the Mars Volta on the first album, if I remember correctly. And this is the second album. I believe it's the drummer from Mastodon. And I may have them backwards, but I believe the newest album is what's the name from Mastodon? But this is their 2020 release. This album is fantastic. If you like Dillinger Escape Plan, if you like Soulfly, grab it. Phenomenal album. I really like the first one. The second one is even better. I'm going to actually end up pulling both of them out and spinning them again. But this is Reluctant Hero. Just a fantastic album. Next up, so I've been on a bit of... Do I have the other one here before I say that? So on one of the live streams that I was on, may have been Aaron's live stream, may have been John's Bit Bot Boom. I don't remember which one I was on, but I was on one of the live streams, and we got to talking about Riot. You know what? It was Patrick's stream, the Vinyl Archivist. He does a stream on I want to say Friday nights that a bunch of us get on, and I've been getting on there for the last few weeks. It's been a lot of fun. But John Bitbot Boom was talking about Riot, and we got into a pretty good discussion between him, myself, and one of the young ladies, Malia, and just got me on a Riot kick. I pulled out my Riot collection because I wanted to show a couple things, some alternate covers and stuff to those guys and gal, and I started listening to some Riot. I had these Archives albums in my inbox, so I pulled out the first two. I've had these for like a year. Finally got around to spinning them. But this is Archive Volume 1, 76 to 81. Let me tell you, these things are fantastic. Mostly rough cuts and demos, different versions of songs, slightly different rough cuts. Really good pressings, though. And they all come with a DVD as well. And the DVD for this one is called Live in New Jersey. However, they say over and over throughout the live set that they're in Staten Island, which is obviously in New York. So, not very good quality control there from High Roller Records. But they did a fantastic job on these pressings. I think they're all the ones that I bought are the red vinyl versions. They all sound really good. High Roller's kind of hit or miss. You'll get 5 or 6 albums that sound fantastic, and you'll get one that just doesn't sound that good. As a whole, though, I'm a really big fan of High Roller. But these Archives are great. I've got 1 through 4. I haven't listened to 2 or 3 yet. And I'm sorry, I haven't listened to 3 or 4 yet. And there's a volume 5 out that I'm going to get ordered pretty soon here. This is volume 2, 82 through 83. Again, some really nice pictures. I mean, they just did a really fantastic job with these. Does it say who the lineup on this one was? No. But very cool. Highly recommend those while you can still get them. I used to see them all over the place. They're not popping up as much as they used to. So grab those while you can. Same thing. I ran across, was it this one? No. Maybe it was. I was at the local store and they had Ghost Reveries for pretty cheap. I got it on sale. So I went ahead and grabbed it. I didn't have it on vinyl yet. One of my favorite Opeth albums. So really happy to grab this. MOV has done a fantastic job on these Opeths. I think all but 2 or 3 of my Opeths have been MOV pressings. And the one that I have that's not an MOV pressing, the MOV pressing I've heard sounds better than the original pressing. So they're doing a fantastic job on these. Really killer artwork. So there's Ghost Reveries. And then my other favorite one is Blackwater Park. Went ahead and pulled this out and gave it a spin. They just did a fantastic job on these Opeths. Next up, so last weekend, I went to a all-day festival. Not really a festival. I guess it's a festival. It's at the Masquerade here in Atlanta, in underground Atlanta. So they have 3 different rooms. So they've got Heaven, Hell, and Purgatory. Each one is a different bar, so that they can get multiple bands playing at the same time. So this was Purgatory, or was it? I'm sorry, Heaven and Hell, maybe. Heaven is the biggest. Then Hell is a little smaller, and I think Purgatory is the smallest one. I could have Hell and Purgatory. It doesn't matter. It was pretty much an all-day Doom festival. Mothership was there. Pentagram, Weed Eater, High on Fire, Corrosion of Conformity. Oh, man. There were quite a few other. It was about a dozen bands. I didn't come for the early bands. It wasn't bands I was familiar with or interested in. I got there right before Mothership came on. Caught all of Mothership. Then caught Pentagram after that. In between Pentagram and Weed Eater, and actually for the first half of Weed Eater, I went across the way to the other bar, and a band called Order of the Owl was playing. Highly recommend checking those guys out. They were fantastic. Them and Mothership were the big standouts. Like COC, I expected to be good. Pentagram is always good. High on Fire is always good. Those guys always sound great. Mothership was fantastic. They blew me away. And Order of the Owl was on another level. Order of the Owl is not new to Phoenix. I'm trying to think of the name. Zoroaster. There was a doom metal band in the early 2000s here in Atlanta, and they got some national attention, did some national touring. The band was called Zoroaster. Really good doom metal. Well, the singer from that is in this new band, Order of the Owl, and they're fantastic. Unfortunately, they didn't have any albums or any CDs there for sale. Otherwise, I'd have grabbed them. But I got COC, and when I do my room tour, I've already got the COC on the wall. What else did I get signed? I got the Mothership signed, which is back over there somewhere. And I got Bobby to sign this one. So this is Last Rites. Gave this a spin. And that one's signed by Bobby. I got some other stuff signed too that I'll show on some other videos. But it was a really great day. I had never seen COC. Corrosion of Conformity has been one of my favorite bands since probably 92 or 93. I've loved them. And finally got to see them. I could have seen him a while back, but I didn't really want to see him with Woody on vocals. I prefer the Pepper, the Pepper stuff, Pepper Keenan. So, with him back in the band, I was definitely not going to miss it. So, next up, man, these are really good. So, I don't know if you guys saw the Death, the authorized bootlegs that they just put out. 4 of them. They all sound terrible. Death is one of my favorite bands. I can't believe that they released these. I don't think Chuck would have allowed them to release them if he was still alive. Don't waste your money if you see them. Because of that, I was hesitant to buy these. Obituary did 2 of their albums live. The first one is Slowly We Rot, live and rotting. This is fantastic. Highly, highly recommend picking this up. Sounds killer. They did a great job on this. So if you see this, I mean, you can see I paid $15 for it. So I wasn't going to pass this up. I think it's like 22 or 23 new. So, I mean, it's not a crazy amount. Definitely worth picking it up for all you old school death metal heads. Next up, just pulled this out and gave it a spin. Danzig 2, Lucifuge. We got to talking about this on one of the live streams. We just on a Danzig. We got a Danzig discussion in general. Danzig 3 is actually my favorite, but 1, 2, and 3 are all some of the best albums of the 90s, in my opinion. So, next up, one of the Bride reissues. This is Live to Die. I can't remember if this is the first or second album. Doesn't really matter. They're both fantastic. I had an original pressing of these, but man, Rob Caldwell just did a fantastic job on the remastering. These things sound fantastic. I believe it's on Splatter vinyl. There you go. Very cool. If you run across those, definitely worth grabbing. Next up, I have an original of this, but my original was not in the best condition. So when I saw Raven was repressing these, I had to buy them. This one is All for One from one of my all-time favorite metal acts. As a matter of fact, I just got this in the mail from Brother Scott Waters. So last October, 2021, Scott came out here for a few days and we went and saw Raven. And he took some pictures. This is one of the pictures he took at that show. So he saw Raven a couple of weeks ago and got them to sign this for me. So Scott, I really appreciate it. He got me some other stuff too, which is, of course, not right in front of me. He got me a couple of really killer guitar picks. I'll show those in another video though, and some singles. Not really metal singles. I'll show those again later. But Raven, All for One. They did a good job on these. Don't sound fantastic. They sound really good. My original probably sounds a little better. It comes with the Raven and Udo 10-inch EP. I don't remember. I have the 7-inch of this. I know they did a 12-inch if I remember correctly. I don't remember it having 5 songs though. This one has Born to Be Wild, Inquisitor, Ballad of Marshall Stack, The Power and the Glory, and Mind Over Metal. I believe the 7-inch only had Born to Be Wild and Inquisitor. So I don't know if this is the only time it's been released with 5 songs or not. You guys will have to let me know. Really cool to have that though, and that does sound really good. Next up, this is one I got from brother Billy Hurst. One of the hookups from him. Super clean. First Japanese of Iron Maiden. The cool thing about this one is it's got the original lead-in to the album that was only on the first European pressing, or the first UK pressing. The second Japanese pressing and every UK pressing after that had the shortened lead-in. So it's really cool to have the full original version of the album here. I don't have a first UK pressing. The UK pressing that I do have is a second press, I believe. So, next up, I think I got one more bolt thrower, but just kind of working on finishing up the bolt thrower. This one was 88 or 89, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 1989. Again, Earache's just been doing a fantastic job. Every Earache repress that I've bought in the last couple of years has sounded fantastic, except for one. I've got 3 different copies of Heartwork, and they all sound like crap from Carcass, which sucks because I love that album. Everything else I've bought from them though is flawless. I don't know why they can't get that album right, but Bolt Thrower, Realm of Chaos, and just again the killer artwork. Let's see. And then last but not least, this is going to be a twofer. I believe this is the debut and the newest from Municipal Waste. So I had pre-ordered this. It came in like 2 months after the release date. Every store I was in had a copy of it, and I was just waiting on mine. This is I think it's like a blue splatter. Oh, I was wrong. Just white. That's kind of weak. Oh, it said it right there on the cover. I thought for some reason I thought it was white with blue splatter, but really killer artwork. I love the artwork. It's a good album. It's not a great album. It sounds... The last few Municipal Waste albums for me, honestly, have just kind of been... they've all kind of sounded the same. No really standout tracks. If you just want some new thrash metal to listen to, grab it. If you're not a diehard Municipal Waste fan and you have to have everything, I would just pass on it and listen to their older stuff. It's a good album. It's not a great album. And then you've got one of their great albums, Waste 'Em All. I can't remember. I believe this was their first full length. I believe they had an EP or a mini LP before this. But this is Waste 'Em All. Really fantastic crossover. This is before they went all thrash. Highly, highly recommend checking this one out. This one you can still find. This is a first pressing on, I think this one's white vinyl too, as a matter of fact. Yeah, it just happens to be white vinyl as well. But you can still find original pressings of this for $25. And it's worth every penny. Fantastic. Just really killer crossover. I can't remember what year this one was. I want to say it was like maybe 2010. That's pretty much it though, guys. I hope everybody's doing good. I'm recording this ahead a little bit. I'm going to post it a couple days before Thanksgiving, so you guys have a fantastic Thanksgiving. And I'll see you guys when I get back. Take care, VC.